Washington Irving.
Hey, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Hope you're all doing well, staying safe, eating some good food. I have a minute on grill being here, but I'm gonna open up this here so you guys can get like an idea of what this is gonna look like. I'll turn my camera on too, just to make sure it's all good. Grill's being a hot minute. She's double checking audio and her setup because she hasn't figured out what the plan is for like making it perfect. Good timing. Woo!
Not the right mic.
That happens a lot. My favorite is when I'll accidentally open up Discord on my other PC and it's just like, that's a webcam. That's a webcam microphone. I am so sorry.
Oh, maybe it is the right mic. Do I sound like shit?
No, you sound fine.
Okay.
It's not even a big deal. Is Tony coming too now? Is he part of the interview? We get a twofer?
Are you a twofer?
I'm excited now.
You're gonna be part of the interview as a twofer.
Because now this is funny, because if I ask you a question, Tony can like double check it.
I don't care, yeah, do it if you want. He's very excited.
Oh, he should be.
No, you.
Oh, me? Of course. Of course I'm excited. It's like these interviews are by far the highlight of my week. Like I absolutely love them.
Where's the space bar on your keyboard?
A Ford Fusion cost me $68 to fill up yesterday. Woo!
Okay, I think he'll. Oh, ha ha ha! Oops. Turns out Anthony is logged in on Twitch. That is me.
One of us. No, it's dude. Everyone thinks these are White Claws. I swear to God, these are Celsius. They're energy drinks. Not focusing.
They definitely look like White Claws.
Ah, they do. I know. No White Claws though. Also, hello, Snakes. Hello.
That was definitely my message. Not... I Poke. Poke, that was definitely me, not him. My bad.
I will say this is probably one of the funnier starts to an interview that I've had, so this is perfect.
Apologies. I guess not then.
No. If it's more interesting, that's the good part. Okay, so kicking it off, what is this? 25 minutes late.
Hey.
We
had some setup issues.
Exactly,
okay?
That's perfectly okay. Give me a little bit of background about yourself.
1 sec. Do you have an extra headset then, or how are you gonna do it?
Double interview, chat.
Okay, cool.
Have a good one, Snicks. Be safe.
Off my background.
Ooh. This sounds like that one game. This is kind of cool. Sounds like a Tony hand approaches. I'm excited, dude. Yo, what's up, Kenny? 649 for mid-grade. Dude, that sounds terrifying, actually. It's not open, Kenny. I'll open it for you. You guys harass me for the silliest things. Like it's not a like a priority of mine to open up my not a priority to open up my fucking Streamlabs chat, but Kenny always calls me out for it.
Oh, hello. I'm big now. I'm bright. All right.
You got more extra light on you?
Did it work? Oh, didn't work. Why did that not? Ow! Oh!
Oh, my immersion! Oh God! You're not on a beach?
Sorry, I'm not on a beach.
I'm liking Tony's farmer tan though. What's going on over there?
I'm off in land.
I've got the same thing. So I hold this arm goes out my door when I'm driving for my deliveries. So like everything above it is all pale, but this side is also pale. So it just looks clunky. But you know, I can't hang my other arm out the window or anything. Can you guys both hear me now? Are we good? I can't hear you now. I'm so excited, chat.
Make me sync.
Oh,
where's my sync button?
There we go. Okay, so now I'm gonna have
We're fixing it.
I'm gonna have to double head all these questions. This will be funny. So see, the other thing that I want to kind of
double
head. So now it's my head versus your head. You're probably gonna win because you're bigger than me, but we'll make it work.
I like this. The edge of the camera like stretches my arm.
It distorts it. Just looks like you're massive. So the other thing that I want to test at some point in time is the concept of doing a focus group which is basically just like where I give off a couple questions and you guys answer them as a whole group in a Discord call. I think it might turn into a screaming match, but it could be kind of fun. So I'm kind of like tossing the idea out to a couple people. But yeah, just to kind of open up the floor, Kristina, go first, and then Tony, can you guys tell me a bit about yourself and like how you got into this kind of space?
Okay. Hello, Mike. I am, well, I don't know how to answer that question.
You don't know how to.
So I grew up in I don't know. The problem is I don't know how to focus my question, I guess. So I grew up in a very computer engineering family. And so I grew up just around computers, with computers, and just in general with like engineering. So from high school on, I knew I wanted to be basically a computer engineer. I thought I wanted to be a computer engineer. So I went to Purdue for engineering. I ended up in the industrial engineering space, but I still always focused in computer science and web development. And then, so outside of college, my first job was in web development, and I just fell in love with it and started ever since there. And then when COVID hit, I'm kind of fast tracking it a lot.
You're good. It doesn't have to be like a synopsis of your whole life. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm trying to like figure out when it actually mattered and made sense to start, but I chose that part. So anyway, when COVID hit, I was in a remote job, and the company, it was another startup ish. They were like 3 years old, and there were like 7 employees, and I got let go at the beginning of COVID, and they ended up basically shutting down that year.
Oh, wow.
Or being acquired. I don't really exactly know what happened, but the company kind of went away. So I ended up, like everybody else, not having any idea what to do. So I played with Upwork a little bit and did some freelance work. And then this guy told me that I should start streaming. I had never used Twitch before. I had no idea what it was or anything. I don't remember if it was that he came up with the idea for TrueGameData and then told me to stream as a supplement, or if it was vice versa, but they kind of coincided hand in hand. And
right.
Okay. We were streaming first, and then came up the website idea, and then so that was like August 2020, 2020. And then ever since then, just kept streaming, and that's how I entered the space. But I had never used it before COVID.
Right. Well, that's not a bad thing. I think a lot of people, whenever I ask that question, most people started watching Twitch or like came up of like a recollection of Twitch because of COVID, and they just had nothing else to do. Like Jesse's rekindled with video games. I know Mickey didn't even know about it until somebody nudged her and was like, hey, like this is Twitch. And I'm like, well, what the hell's this? You know? So a lot of people didn't even know what it was until the pandemic hit.
I played video games in forever. And so I thought it was a great idea because I play games anyway. So why not stream? And I love talking to people. So
and people miss out on like when you have a YouTube video, it's not really interactive. Like, yeah, you can type in their chat after the video, but like the video's been edited, rendered, uploaded. They're not even worried about that video anymore.
It's not the same.
Exactly. It's very live and interactive, and I think it's the coolest thing about it.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, Tony, give me your life story. Hit me with it.
I was born in Kokomo, Indiana. 1993, August 19th.
Oh, you're also an August baby?
Yeah.
I'm the 12th. Damn. There's a lot of people in August that I know around here, so it's kind of interesting.
So I'll just do TGD stuff, I guess. So yeah, like she said, I was actually staying with her at the time because I hate being alone, and COVID happened, and I didn't want to be alone for a year.
Well, your house was
And my house was, at the time I lived in like a super cheap, tiny room.
Hey, save.
There were like 7 people staying in this house. I didn't know any of them. And it was like COVID breeding ground is what it seemed like. So I just didn't want to be there. So yeah, I was actually at her apartment at the time, and Warzone came out. I was obsessed with Warzone. I had been playing mostly Overwatch before that. I was big into Overwatch. And I just loved the game, and I was really annoyed that there was nothing that had the stats in the game. So I started working on stats myself, and just like for my own use.
He had insane Excel spreadsheets.
Yeah.
Well, so like, how did the name?
They were Google Sheets, actually.
How did the name come about? Was it just like Raven was just giving you guys dog information, and then you were just like, oh, like this is the true data. You know what I mean?
The name was originally COD Gun Data, actually, but then probably like, I don't know, like 2 or 3 months after launching, changed it to TrueGameData, and that was for a bunch of different reasons. In some countries, you can't have the word gun in a URL.
Oh, yeah.
So had to change it for that. And then also, we wanted to be able to expand in other games someday if we had to. So
right. Giving you that
changing
leverage.
it from COD to something else that's completely separate from any individual game was kind of another part of that decision. And
just rebranding it like a year or two down the line is so hard to do because everyone remembers you as this, and then you just switch on over. It's like, well, who the hell is this, a fake now? Like, like that's really hard to kind of go across. So Kristina was introduced to through Twitch through you. How did you get introduced into it?
I have no idea, to be honest. I had never watched Twitch like before streaming. I just was interested in streaming because I knew that I liked playing games with friends. So I was like, well, what the heck? I'll just try streaming and see what it's like. And yeah, I mean, I had obviously no viewers when I first started, and then I knew instantly when like the idea of TGD came into my head that it would probably launch a streaming career and a YouTube career and then all these things if it was done correctly.
Right.
So that was like the plan from day one, basically. So it's worked out.
Well, it's a good thing. I mean, like so many people get caught up in the, I have to do the stream part, or I have to do the YouTube part. Why not just like kind of bits and pieces and figure out your way around? Because so many people just are they're headstrong on, I'm going to stream 8 hours a day. I'm going to be a pro on Twitch, and then I'm just not going to touch any other social media. But it's so hard to do that because Twitch isn't like it's not designed to be a full-time job. Like, you're not supposed to be able to just stream and make money, Some people do.
Especially if you start.
Right. Well, because you start with nobody. You have no followers. You have no interactions with people. It's impossible. It's different if you were part of communities and then you're like, oh, like I stream now too. Like you kind of raid somebody you've been a part of for a while and they get an idea like, oh, you do stream, like a mod or something in chat. Those are always really fun.
Yeah, or you have the outside source similar to what we had. I mean, I don't think I would have been anywhere on Twitch except I had the TrueGameData kind of behind it. So I had something that people would then go check out my stream because of it. And so like I had an completely external different set of people learn about me through something not Twitch.
Right. And then as you grow, more people like it's almost like backwards. Then it's like at that point, it's they know you for Grill, and then it's like, oh wait, you also are part of TGD, right?
Yeah, and then once you get bigger, I still don't want to use the word easier, but the algorithm seems to, once you become something or you have a presence, it's easier to gain a bigger presence. Again, I don't like the word easy, but yeah, it's getting that first presence is extremely difficult.
Well, I mean, think about it this way. Like, let's not say easy. Let's just say like you have one door and you can only go through this one door. But as soon as you go through the first one, then you have 3, then you have 7, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. It's networking, right? Yeah. Like when you hear JGod, there's meaning, there's respect, there's understanding behind that, and just saying it is publicity nowadays. Like so, for me, my first door was actually Coda, and then from Coda, it was everything else that he was a part of. Right. So like in the beginning, I felt like I was kind of mooching off of him. But at the same time, I was like, oh, this is like just how it works. You network with people, you grow and you grow and you grow. That's how it works. So yeah, definitely a very interesting concept of just growing is growing. But at the same time, it's also kind of scary because you if you don't get that first door open, because you're kind of knocking on it for a while until you get that first follower or like the first 10 and then it's just like it's almost like a grind. But yeah, we all kind of get there eventually. Do either of you guys have pets anymore? Or I know Tony was playing with somebody back there.
Is she here? Kira. Hi, baby. Come here. Yeah, she's kind of lame.
Does she normally hide down here, Tony? This is like a little spot. So between the two of you, what's your favorite memory of her?
Favorite memory of Kara?
Yeah. Like goofiest shit she's ever done.
I love when she goes to the beach. She's like a completely different dog when she's at the beach. She's extremely chill and extremely just a calm dog. And then she goes to the beach and she is just as happy running around chasing seagulls like a crazy dog. It's It's very cute.
Very wholesome. Because she seems very shy right now. So is she much more open when she's outside then?
It's not that she's like shy. It's just that she doesn't like to move much. She's just very calm.
That's kind of how the pandemic changed us too. Everyone's more indoor, lay around, be a little bum. You know, it's so funny because
she's always been an apartment dog, and so I think that definitely has part of it. She just doesn't. She knows that, you know, you have your couple times a day when you go outside, and then other than that, you find a bed or a couch or a place, and you just nap.
She's adapted to it, yeah. And that's interesting because some dogs will just keep running. Like they don't get that concept of a life, and they just want to keep moving, you know. But
well, and I also brought her from Chicago, so she had a very different life when I used to live in Chicago. And I mean, for 6 months out of the year, we didn't take her outside, like other than just to go to the bathroom because it was snowing. So then when I brought her here and I introduced her to the beach, she was just a different dog. She was like, what is this outdoor thing that I can do and run around and like not have walls?
Her son, what's going on, man? What are both of your earliest memories of playing video games?
So I had a PS2 growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so what considers a video game? I played Pokemon on my purple clear.
Yeah, it's a video game.
Game Boy, because
the video game.
Okay, so I had my purple clear Game Boy, the like original Game Boy. I don't even know what they had a name. Game Boy Color, thank you. And
I had the Advance because I was
so
special.
then my brother got the Advance, and then I got jealous because I was and I was like, that's not fair. He has not been upgraded. I need upgraded. So then I got the SP, I think it was the flip one. So then I had the SP with a cool little light so I could play at nighttime. Actually, no, the SP actually lit up by itself, but I had the color light. Yeah,
I think the Game Boy Advance was the one with the little daily light.
At night. And so Pokemon was probably my first, I guess, game in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
The first one that I played like any kind of co-op or anything was on the PS2 with my brother, and we played like Ratchet and Clank, Jak and Daxter. We actually played 007 Nightfire. That was my favorite growing up, but it was his game, so like I had to like make sure he wanted to play before like I was allowed to play it.
Did you ever have that phase where you weren't allowed to have the controller plugged in? Like you had to like so when I don't know if Tony had this either. When I was growing up, my older brother is 7 years older than me, and my little brother is 7 years younger than me. So when he was playing video games, we would hand him a controller that wasn't plugged in to make him feel like he was playing. Did you get that experience too, or no?
I was the oldest, so I did not.
Never mind.
So no, if I was in there playing the game, I was playing the game.
Right. Yeah, mine was,
I also remember. So another one that it actually wasn't oldest, but it was an old device. In middle school, I met some friends who had you're gonna have to help me. I played Mario Kart with the thing that they're big cartridges and you put in the back.
SNES?
And then but it was really, really old. And then it had the mega pieces that came out. The controller was like a 3-pronged.
Nintendo's?
It was an
N64?
No, it's maybe, I think she's talking about the thing from McDonald's that for a long time they had those types of things in there.
No,
I think it was an N64.
An N64, which was not that old at the time.
Really? The 3 prongs doesn't sound like an N64.
That's what they had.
Yeah,
they had that.
For some reason, it was developed for people with 3 hands.
That's what we played on. We played Mario Kart, and we did time trials, and I kicked their butts, and it was amazing.
Yeah, that was the step that I missed. I didn't get we had a SNES, and then we had straight to like console, Xbox and PlayStation. I missed GameCube. I had a little bit of a DS, but like that was it. So when everyone was like, "Oh, I played Smash Bros," I'm like, "What the fuck, Smash Bros?" I've never heard of that before. So I missed out on the whole competitive. I played Mortal Kombat when I got older, but like I missed that competitive Melee and Ultimate and all that fun. And I haven't gotten good at it since. So
yeah.
First game, Tony, hit me with it.
That was my history with it. I don't know if you want to share your history with it. You're older.
My history with video games. I remember when I was a kid, we were only allowed to play video games for 30 minutes a day.
Oh, Jesus.
So
how often did you get to push that boundary? Was it as you got older?
So yeah, that's what my memory is that I'm about to bring up. So I remember getting up at like 5 a.m. and taking my Game Boy Color and going and hiding under the bar in the kitchen and playing Pokemon on my Game Boy Color. I don't know if that was like really the beginning or not, but yeah, that, and then obviously N64. I played the crap out of everything on the N64, but I do think that was later in life a little bit.
Well, since we both mentioned Pokemon, what is the best starter?
Is the best starter?
Yep.
He's asking like any.
Like all-time favorite starter.
All-time favorite starter.
Mickey's here too. So now
I need to see the starters.
The three that come off the top of my head: Totodile, Totodile,
Pokemon.
Oh my God, Bulbasaur, Torchic, Totodile.
Yeah, I can get
Charmander.
the first few generations, but I want to see.
There's an
pictures.
owl, and there's a cat now. That I haven't seen the new newest ones. Mudkip's pretty cute. I see. When it comes to that generation, though, I'm a Torchic fan.
Honestly, I don't really. So, I am 7 years younger than my older brother, and he had a little bit of a thing with any of us like being the same as him, like using his things or using the same Pokemon. Or,
yeah.
So I never got to use the cool ones. I always just had to. I had to get the game he didn't get, whichever one that was, and I had to pick a starter that he didn't pick. So I didn't get to use Charmander,
with, like, Bulbasaur or something.
He pretty much always used the starter that was the fire type, which I mean, yeah. So like I used Squirtle and I used Totodile and Trico.
See, I like Trico from that generation though. Like for most grass types, they kind of sucked. Like they were like tankier, but Trico felt more like an aggressive.
Yeah, Chikorita, very tanky. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, same with Torterra. Or not Torterra, what's Turtwig?
That was a joke.
I mean, some of them were pretty. It just
Turtwig.
felt like it was
Turtwig's
tankier. You know?
People shit on my Turtwig, but Turtwig's amazing.
I was a Turtwig fan too, but like it's hard to say no to Pinplub. You know, like that motherfucker was so cute. It's just like, oh. And then what is the all-time favorite Pokemon?
I really liked Metagross. From like Sapphire, Metagross, like
a little
shiny Metagross,
yeah.
Gold and silver, amazing.
Kristina?
I don't know. Mickey's. I can't.
I'll ban Mickey real quick. Don't worry about her. Don't worry. she actually influenced this question, so.
I am a terrible. Well, I just got back from visiting her, and so we talked about her interview with you. We played Pokemon Go all weekend.
Yeah, she was telling me about that.
We've been playing Pokemon for like 4 days straight now. I am a terrible person to interview because I don't have favorites. I cannot favorite things. So
really?
It's really bad. Can't do music, can't do movies, I just can't pick favorites.
What's your favorite movie?
I can't do it. I told you. It's not my favorite.
Top Gun Maverick.
It's very good, but I can't.
Yeah, Maverick is really good.
But I don't know that I have. Again, I don't know how to pick favorites. I don't know. There's a lot of really, really amazing ones. They're so cute.
like yeah, Pinplup's probably got my heart, but I'm a huge fan of Munchlax, the Snorlax family.
Oh that my god, I love the babies. Yes. I love the babies.
Well, I think Pichu's overrated, but I honestly think that Munchlax is probably one of the cutest things in the world. He's just a little tubby sumo wrestler, you know? He's like,
He's very cute. Oh yes, I know Mickey. Rayquaza is Mickey's favorite.
Rayquaza? Dude, I remember when, oh my god. I remember when the what was it called? The Flash Replay, the Nintendo Flash Replay or whatever it was called for the DS, where you could like basically cheat from Pokemon, and it just ruined all of like hunting shinies or like getting the best CPs and like breeding them. I don't remember when it came out, but it was like maybe Munchlax. That's actually a really high CP for an unevolved Munchlax. Holy shit. But I remember when that first came out, I was just like, man, these are so cool. But then one of my buddies had so many shinies. It's like, well, how the hell did that happen? Oh yeah, and then doesn't the electric Electabuzz have a baby too? I forgot what that guy's name is though. I'm off the top of my head.
But see, you think Pichu's lame, but what about Pichu with a hat?
That's a bad bitch right there. I haven't seen a lot because I have a couple of the Pikachus with hats, but none of the Pichus. I've never seen any of them. Oh, Elekid, that's what it is. Because it's Electabuzz, right? Yeah. Okay. So we kind of touched on the college thing. Mickey wants to know what your favorite programming language is for both of you guys.
Favorite programming language? That's a hard question because there's a technical answer and there is a non-technical answer. JavaScript is the one I'm best at. I'm the most comfortable with it. I'm the most I can do the most with it, and that's just. But it's if you go into like frameworks, then that JavaScript is the base language, but obviously there's like Angular, React, Vue, all these other things that are frameworks built around JavaScript.
Right.
So JavaScript would be my answer as a stand-up language, but I've done the most then with a framework with Angular, so that's probably still my favorite for it.
Right. Tony?
Just bring the mic over to me.
Bring it on over.
I mean, I don't know very many programming languages, to be honest, but I used a ton of MATLAB when I was back at Caterpillar, which I loved because it felt like it was designed in a really smart way. Like, there's a lot of dumb things you have to do in programming that don't make sense just to make it even work. Right. Which is very annoying to me. And like, MATLAB just alleviated all of that from the start. It was programmed by me. Like, if I was going to build a programming language, I would do it like they did it because it was just easier. Python's similar. I like Python a lot. And then PHP, I think, is fine. People shit on PHP. That's what TGD is built off of. And I think PHP is completely fine. I have no idea why it gets so much hate because it's.
So why did you choose PHP then? If you prefer a different one.
So.
Oh, that's cool.
Those other ones can't really. Well, Python can be used for backend, but had just built another site for a different company in PHP, so I was comfortable with PHP and I knew what to do in PHP. And we were trying to. I was really, really worried at the time that somebody else was going to come in and do it first and just beat us to the market. And so I wanted to get something out as fast as possible. So I just used the language that we knew. I
mean, that's smart though. Like, for a lot of people, they have a lot of thought into it. You were just get it done, you know. And that it was what you were comfortable with.
I knew how huge the idea could be if done correctly. And so I was like, we got to get this out. We got to just make this happen and get it out there and be the first ones to do this.
I think it's paid off, though. I'd say it's definitely paid off.
Have you seen, actually, have you seen the previous versions of TGD?
I've seen some of the early ones from Shits, but that's about it. I don't know how early you're thinking, though.
I show them. I don't even have them.
Because it's really interesting to see the progression of it.
Also, for everyone in chat, I'm not ignoring you. It's just very hard to read chat. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for being a part of this today.
Because I could show him this if
you send it through Discord, I can pull it up.
If you want to. Can I show him or no?
I don't care.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I guess it's on the internet anyway.
I'm just here.
I'm so excited. It's probably not going to be that big of a difference. You know what I mean? I mean, it'll be like prettier and more well polished, right? But it's probably not going to be a huge 180.
They were pretty different, in my opinion.
Easy.
Well, the first one definitely is.
Easy sprinted by the door.
On crackhead mode. Come here, dude.
Little butthole.
All right. I will share these in Discord.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Where do you want me to put them?
If you can send them as
like the web.
Are they
Where should I put it?
Like PDFs, like little JPEGs of them, or?
Yeah, they're just.
Yeah, just toss them into Discord, and I can like just a message, so one-on-one, I can just pull them up real quick.
Don't accidentally send my nudes.
Oh, those are in a different file. Don't worry, I got you.
Okay.
Those are saved in Shits, a secret file. Let me pull up. Oh, Oh, this is like the early ones. Okay.
3 days. That first
Hey,
one
here
that
we
has a red border took us 3 days.
Let me make sure they can see. Okay, perfect. There's no camera for this one, but these are the originals. See, I like that it's very static, right? There's just not a lot to it, you know?
That was our very first. Look, we even have ads on it. Look at
I
us
love
go.
the activate windows in the corner.
Hey, I didn't activate Windows for like 10 years. Some people kept yelling at me.
I that's my favorite part. Screw the whole other interview, the rest of the interview. That's the best part right there. I love that.
So then this was like the first one that we turned into like an actual website, right?
Mhm.
And then that first one was literally just like, here's your like 6 options. Here's your cart. Go.
Right.
And then we had,
Yeah, and everybody liked it more because it was fast.
Right.
so then we did the new one that we added too many steps into. And then, yeah, so now we're kind of figuring it out again. But anyway,
Well, the hardest thing
Yes.
is giving people too much and then they get confused, and then giving them too little and they want more. And you have to kind of find the middle
Totally.
ground. It's how it is for everything. Absolutely everything. But no, that's one of the things we struggled with for I did a focus group class on the town, and they were like, people keep complaining about taxes, it's too expensive, we can't break it down for them. It's like, right, because if you spend over $1 million, like, you don't want to break down every single decimal of what goes where. Everyone will get lost. So it's like you just have percentages. So I don't know. It's just interesting how you have to kind of find a middle ground for everything.
yeah, my theory is also that you're always going to have complainers. Someone's always going to be unhappy.
Always a hater.
Yeah. So you got to know when that's the majority of the people, and that when you should actually act on it, and when it's just somebody who's just who just does not like it. And honestly, you can't please everyone. So sometimes that is what it is. And you got to make your decisions based on feedback, but you can't focus on the people who randomly are like, your news site is the shittiest thing I've ever made. Okay, that's not true. So like,
Right.
like,
It also, like, the way they form their sentences isn't constructive criticism. It's just hate. Like, it's not like they're not trying to let you learn something or change something. It's just, this is what I don't like. It's not even like fix it. It's just this, I hate it. You know. And there's always going to be people like that. You know. You just can't really fix it.
For us, is like, it's less about the the amount of information, and it's about trying to make it fast, because people just
Right.
want to hop on there. They want to see stuff instantly and be able to mess with the builds instantly, and that's something we're trying to redo right now for the next version of the site and make it way faster.
Like,
They don't like clicking on a bunch of things and going through multiple steps. They just want it all there so they can edit it at the same time. And
have you thought about it from like a timestamp perspective? I mean, like, you want it fast, right? But have you thought about it from, like, let's say you queue into a game, you've got a minute to make a class, and you want to pull up TGD while you're floating in, right? Have you thought about, like, how fast it would take to pull up, build your class, and then put it into Warzone? Is that a thing? Or
actually a really good metric that we could use to measure the next one.
because you have about a minute.
Actually, it's a very
If you
good
load in early, you have about a minute. But it's also like, then you have to alt tab, pull it up, load everything in, and then alt tab back and go back and forth to make sure attachments are good. And that probably takes a while with 10 attachments, especially if you don't
other
have
thing
them
is-
known.
The other benefit and the cool thing about the new version of the site too is it'll be an actual app that you can actually do it on your phone instead of having to do that
Alt-tab,
tabbing in and out.
yeah.
But then then we get the full minute instead of just the tabbing in and out of it. So
Here's my question, Tony, and I want you to reach out to Raven or Call of Duty about this. Make them a little link so that you can copy the link of your build in the game and then paste it, and it makes the whole loadout for you. Thoughts? Just saying.
I mean, I would love the connection. We have the Twitch commands, but I would love it to be. I wish it could actually go into the game. But we
Right.
do
Like, it
have-
makes like a little link, and it would just save to your class almost. That would be really interesting, if that's even
Yeah.
like possible.
Yeah, I don't know how that. Yeah, I mean that would be super cool, but you'd have to connect Twitch to the game to the website, and yeah. But we have all the Twitch commands set up already, and we're trying to make that more.
Like, well
Like
known.
for instance, Breadman uses the Twitch commands for everything in his chat. So we're trying to make it more ease of use.
Right.
For
And it takes
everyone.
time. It takes time to adjust and get things polished, which is okay. So regarding college and like learning a bunch of new things, what do you guys think is your biggest mindset shifts from college until now? What have you learned that's the most important?
Um, you mean just like in life?
Yeah, just in general. Maybe it could be something work related. It could be something relationship related, family related. Something about yourself you learned.
One thing that I learned, my most constructive criticism I've ever received from any boss ever, that was that when I am passionate about something, hello, come on, come back. Come back. There we go. When I am passionate about something, I give like 300%. When I am not interested in something, I give like 5%. Like I'm not interested. Like it is so obvious. And it was one of the most I'm gonna get the word wrong. It's not introspective, but one of the things about me that I had never thought about.
Mhm.
And my boss pointed it out because he's like, when I give you a project that you are obsessed with, you get it done in a day. Like you are so obsessed with it. When I give you a project you hate, it takes you 2 weeks because
Right.
you do everything else you can besides that project. So
How
I've had to
have you
learn how
adapted that
to-
then? Have you figured out like a way to find things that you enjoy, or have you found like enjoyment in something? Like everything is something slightly enjoyable to you?
So I've had to learn how to mitigate parts of projects that I've had to break down projects to see minute details that are interesting to me and
Mhm.
focus on the details rather than the whole project if the project itself is either overwhelming or not as interesting.
Okay.
So I can break it down into tiny pieces that are interesting so that I know that I'm focusing and actually giving my
Right,
all
right.
for each individual pieces.
That can go for a lot of things too. Like so many
Yeah.
people get scared about the whole, like, how do I get to point A to point B? Just take the
Yep.
first step and slowly,
Yep.
piece by
So-
piece, you get there, you know?
Yeah, that was gonna be my transition point too, is that's my life learning, is that yeah, you wanna even anything, you wanna be really good at golf. You want to lose 300 pounds. You want to make friends. That's something that I've struggled with since COVID. Well, you're not just gonna walk outside and make friends. You're not just gonna not eat for a day and lose 300 pounds. You're not, like it's gonna take a year or something, and it's gonna take a lot of effort. And thinking about the whole thing frightens 90% of the people, and that's really hard.
Yep.
So making friends, join an activity. Period. Just like
Mhm.
go, try to force yourself to go do something. Like say hi to someone on your walk. Like literally try to make it as small bite-sized pieces as you can.
Yeah.
So that. Oh, hello. So so it's more digestible rather than focusing on trying to the whole big project that is overwhelming and scary and not interesting at the end of the day, versus the tiny minute pieces that you can actually focus on and be emphatic about.
Right. Yeah, because especially when it comes to weight loss, so many people are like, I have to cut out sugars, I have to only eat vegetables, I have to drink this much water. It's like, just start with one, dude. Go walk for a day. Just one walk a day. And then add in water, and then add in, just slow by slow, and it takes time, it's okay.
It's
How about
hard.
you, Tony? Oh no, if I cut you off, Kristina, keep talking. This is your interview.
No, it's fine. I was just gonna agree with you, so I was just
Okay.
gonna repeat things, so it's fine.
For me, I've spent the last 10 years pretty much since college, like trying to change the way I work. I've always been disorganized, and I've always been procrastinating, and I've always struggled with like doing school the right way and doing work the right way, where, you've got everything scheduled out, and, you're going to do this from this time to this time. And like, it just doesn't work for me. I don't know why. I just can't do that. And I've been trying for 10 years to change it. And at this point, I'm just like trying to learn how to work with what I have and how I do things, rather than trying to kill myself to change the way my brain wants to work.
Right.
And I found a way to make it work. And there are certain days where I'm motivated and I'll work all day, like literally all day. And then there's other days that just fine. We're just fuzzy. I don't know. I can't. It's a shitty little $20 Amazon camera, but
Hey, it works. That's what matters.
Yeah, I'm just trying to work with what I have now and trying to figure out how to make it work, rather than trying to change myself, because I've just found that I can't. Like, I just can't change myself. What I am is what I am.
That's not a bad thing though, because then you can like prioritize more productive days and put more work on yourself, and you know that you'll be able to relax and unwind later. You know what I mean? Like some
That's
people.
The problem I have right now is like, I feel like every second I'm not working, I'm killing the company, and like, so it's just puts me under ridiculous amounts of stress.
So,
and it's self-imposed stress, because like, we're doing fine. We're doing better than we've ever done money-wise. So it's like, why am I It's stupid. The
So
whole thing's stupid.
It's
but
interesting because I can paint
we're
the same
working on
picture
it.
for you. This is my first leap of doing something full time, whether it's a job, college, or whatever it may be. And every time I work 6 days, so I work 6 days a week doing streaming, editing, and everything else. But every time I take that Sunday off, I feel like I'm ruining everything. Even though I'm working during it, like I'm relaxing and trying to reset for the next week, I still feel like I'm not getting as much as I should be. But at the same time, I can't say screw it and work 7 days a week. I can't do that to myself. So it's like I'm learning the same concept as you, is like rest days are important even if you don't feel like you need them. So they are important though.
It's a really weird balance to try to balance like understanding that you are what you are while still trying to improve and be better as a person. Like that's something I'm really struggling with right now, is like trying to learn how that works. Like how do you continue to get better yourself while also not being mean to yourself and accepting what you are and who you are. Like that's a really difficult thing for me, because that's how I've motivated myself my whole life, is like telling myself that I'm doing it wrong or I'm shit.
Right.
That helps me do better. But like,
but also it takes a toll on your mental. You
end up in a mental state like I am.
But that's the thing is you kind of learn. Hi, Weez.
How are you?
That's my little bundle of dopamine though. Every day, this little fucker, best thing ever. Invest in one. You'll love it.
I'm allergic to one, so I can't.
Same. But look at his little butt. You're so cute. Hi. Yeah, he's just like it's when you're feeling sad, you go home and you just kiss his little forehead and you go kind of goes. I love it. Happiest thing ever.
And you cry.
No. You just slam medicine. It's fine. Drugs are good. But no, like the hardest thing is I was the same way in cross country. I'm like, oh, you can do it, fat ass. Just keep pushing. You'll get there eventually. And then you just keep breaking down your brain and you have to relearn to love yourself. So I'm in that like acceptance phase of like, yeah, I'm a little heavier, but I'm also working hard for what I love. And it's like, I can fit some, a less crappy food, less beer, and I can move more. But it's also at the same time of I'm loving myself now, and that's what's important. But love yourself and also be healthy with it. And like, there's a weird balance there.
It is. Yeah, it's a weird balance, and I think it's something that everybody needs to learn, is that there are always going to be things you don't like about yourself, always. Right. And there are some things you're going to be able to change about yourself, and then there's some things you're not, or you're going to be able to change very, very little or very slow or very whatever. And at some point you got to learn that you are great the way you are. And
Maybe.
It's always,
some people suck,
and it's great to try to be better. It's always great to try to be the best version of yourself. But you're still going to be yourself.
Right.
So you've got to learn to love yourself. You have to learn who you are, the things that make you great. Focus on improving things that you can improve. But if you can't improve them, learn to make the best of the things that you're given. Like you can't be somebody else. So there's no reason to. To me, it's pointless to try to be somebody else, because you can't be somebody else. Mm-hmm. So you have to try to learn how to love who you are and what makes you, while maybe obviously, like you always try to be the better version, but you're always yourself.
Right.
So I think it's something that people need to learn, and people get really stuck in, and they're like, but so-and-so is so good at speaking, and so-and-so is brilliant, and so-and-so is really, really, really skinny and like can lift whatever. And it's like, okay, but you can't, and you're not going to be that person.
Right.
I used to compare myself to my roommate all the time, and I'm never going to be her. I wish I could be her, but I'm not going to be her. So like, I have to learn that I am what I am, and I can improve upon things. I can lose a little amount of weight. I can lift a little bit more, like whatever, but I'm still going to be me. I'm still going to be awkward. I'm still going to have my nervous laugh. I'm still going to do all the same things that I am. I can't dwell on that. I have to learn to accept it and run with it and be who I am and learn that it's okay.
I think the hardest thing, it's interesting because you can actually see, like, there's a drastic difference between you and Tony personality wise, but also I can see where it kind of comes together. You cannot be somebody else, but you can change little things about yourself. Absolutely. But when you start comparing yourself to others, sometimes that is drive and your mentality. It's a bad drive, but you can change yourself in a good way. But at the same time, as soon as you start battling yourself and beating yourself down, who's going to pull you out of that rut? You know what I mean? So it's very interesting. I bet you one thing your roommate does more than you, Kristina, is drink water, though. And I think you could drink more water.
Anybody drinks more water than me.
That's something you can improve on, though. You see? It's
Anthony
a little
has
thing.
a water jug.
That's why he's so beefy. See, even your jug's bigger than mine. This is just unfortunate, man. Is it one of those with a little spout? Yeah, it is. Okay. I was thinking that was one that you just kind of like, And you just keep chugging it. It's
2.5
funny.
gallons, baby.
Woo! It's also probably like $5 now. It's getting stupid pricey with water nowadays. I hate it.
It's like $2.
This was like
Things are
fucking
cheap out here in Cali.
$2. Whew.
I chose to have one glass of water yesterday instead of a soda. I was very proud of
Let's
myself.
go. Yeah, my hardest thing is that now that I have a mini fridge, right? You guys can't see it's off screen, but right here I have a mini fridge and I've been stocking it with like beer. It's like, but drink the
That would
water.
be
it's like, but it's a
dangerous.
cold beer.
Yeah,
It's like,
that
"Ah."
would be bad.
So I try not to put as much beer in there. So if you could go back in time and tell yourself something 5 years ago, what would it be?
5 years ago,
Mhm.
I would have to go back farther than that. I've been
Farther?
pretty.
Okay.
Well, I could come up with something for 5 years, but I have things I would tell myself, my high school self. Like I have things that I would tell. I had a really interesting high school experience.
I feel like
And
most
there's a
people
lot.
have, you know?
Yeah,
Like there's no
I had-
perfect high school experience.
I had really interesting friendships, and they've definitely made me the way I am. But they also like ruined who I was from my senior year of high school through my first year of college. It was I had interesting friends, and I'd probably tell myself to try to be more true to myself than try. I'm a people pleaser through and through, and
Mhm.
so I went in high school. My friends I took advantage of that pretty bad,
Right.
and so I was just used for a lot of different things without knowing it, and I didn't have a me. I was never me. I was always what they wanted me to be. So it was never Kristina. And I quit a lot of things because they quit things. I joined choir. They kind of told me I was dumb, so I quit choir.
Damn.
I started playing violin. They kind of told me I was dumb, so I stopped playing violin. Like there was a lot of things I just should have stood up for myself
Right.
that I didn't because of my friends. Yeah. But that's high school. 5 years ago. Something to do with drama. Don't get involved.
Like less
Don't-
drama.
Don't just step out. Like just let things happen. Don't. One thing I was actually talking to Mickey about this weekend is not responding, not reacting right away. Just letting it sit for a couple hours or whatever, and like letting things settle before reacting.
Right. Because so many people, their first instinct is to just be rageful and
Yeah.
hateful backed. Yeah. And you kind of like sit with you for a minute. It's like, oh, this isn't that bad. Getting a different perspective
And
on it. Yeah.
totally, you say things that you don't mean to say, that shouldn't be said, and then you think about it later and you're like, well, that's not at all what I meant. It's not all what so and so meant. This got totally blown out of proportion. I just was so reactful in the moment.
Mhm.
And and I think if people just took like an hour or anything and said like, let's come back to this, and like then just took an hour
Yeah.
and then came back to it, I just think a lot of personal relationships would be much better.
Right. And even when you think about it from like two perspectives, like I obviously you experienced something your way. Like think about it from a little bit of adjacent angle. Like, does it look different? Yeah, it looks completely fucking different.
Yeah.
Like if you look at it a different way and understand it, come back to it, everything's look a lot different. And people don't understand it sometimes. They get caught up in it. It's like, oh, you yelled at me, now we need to do this right now. We're both heated, we need to get this out. It's like, no, let's back up a little bit and think about it, and then we'll come back to it. But some people just want to get out. And it's like, no, dude, just take a second. You've got all the time on our side, you know?
Yeah.
So people get scared of that. How about you, Tony?
I don't think I can say mine on Twitch, but there's certain people I would stay away from. I don't know. I mean, things have worked out pretty well. Like I quit my job, chased my dream. That turned into something good.
I mean,
I'd
would you
maybe
tell
tell
yourself
myself
to work
to-
less, or
Say that again.
would you tell yourself to work less? Would you tell yourself to like give yourself more time to relax and unwind?
I would tell myself to stop being a little bitch, probably. Honestly, though,
I'm pretty
in a
sure
lot of
Savage
ways.
said the same thing. He's like, I'm such a pussy in my past, dude.
No,
Like,
I am. I absolutely am.
No, you're not.
I am.
Everybody that says that, I think it's such bullshit, dude. Like, there's no way. Like, you're just being too hard on yourself.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like I'm super, super, super lucky to have ended up where I've ended up. It's extremely stressful, and I'm trying to figure out how to manage that. But to be here from where I was 5 years ago, I was graduating from college right now, like literally right now.
Right.
Yeah, it's been good. It's just stressful.
Right.
It's good.
I'm guessing 5-6 years from now, you'll find a way to manage that, and it'll be perfect. You'll be exactly where you want to be, and everything's going to work out the way it wants to or needs to.
Or I'll just be making one YouTube video a day that takes me an hour and a half to make, and be chilling. One of the two.
Hey, that's fine too.
That'll be easy.
That's not bad. For a lot of people, like the thing that's kind of scaring me about editing is that I have to take a 6-hour stream and condensing it into 10 minutes seems impossible. I don't know what's important, what's relevant, and what's useful. But like starting the video from like just your voice, like just talking for those 10 minutes is a lot easier than shifting through content. And I think people are scared to do that, like scared to offer their own opinion and do things. And sorry, I got a drug note. Hold on. My mom came through and just like slid me a piece of paper.
Hi, Mom.
You want to say hi, Mother? You want to come say hi? Tony's hot. You want to come say hi? She goes like this from the living room.
I'll just be like this when she gets in here.
Truthful data, like. I forgot what I was talking about. Drug notes. Yes. No, there was something else that I'm completely blanking on, but that's okay. But just balancing videos, it's very hard to do, and people are new to it, and they're scared to take a chance, and you know.
And I'm super lucky because my videos are not like gameplay videos. I'm not forced to go get good gameplay. I don't have to edit a whole game and cut out all the good moments. Like,
right.
My videos literally take me 10 minutes to edit.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll record it. Depends on the video, but I'll record it in an hour and edit it in 10 minutes. Like they're super, super easy to make because of the content space I'm in.
They're probably long cuts too. Like it's like a minute and a half of talking, cut, get out this little part, and then a minute and a half of talking, cut. Yeah.
Sometimes it's like 6 or 7 minutes, like without a cut, and it's very, very easy.
Shit, I need to start doing stuff like that. That sounds fun.
I'm telling you, just freaking make loadout videos. Everybody loves loadout videos.
I just think they're lame though. That, and I also hate my loadout would just be ZRG and then STG, and it would just be 20 videos of that.
You could be the person who comments on the fact that loadout videos are lame and comes up with fun alternatives. You might actually have a space there.
Oh God. So someone mentioned after the interviews to bring people into Warzone and play together and then try to make fun stuff. I'm like, that seems like a lot of hassle. Like I wouldn't even know what to do. Like what, a crossbow game? I don't know.
I'm not a fan of those. I occasionally do things where I let chat pick my loadouts and stuff. It's a lot of effort for me to take an all sniper or an all crossbow or an all melee or something stupid game. Because you don't play well. So like anybody who's trying to do anything right is like, that's obnoxious. It
also doesn't help that they know that your stat websites don't lie and they know what's good and bad. And they can like pinpoint like, oh, this is the worst stuff we can use.
Yeah, you can talk to Jams. He
Jams.
I don't even remember. A Scar and something else. Yeah.
The SMG Scar is not bad, but when people want to use it as an AR, it's just there's no bullet velocity. It's got 30 bullets. Like it's just terrible. Definitely didn't recommend it. I mean, this one's going to be specifically aimed at Tony, but for both of you guys, how do you balance all the shit that goes on in your life? What are some tips?
I don't. I mean, honestly, that's what I'm trying to figure out is like...
What have you tried doing that has worked or not worked?
I've tried schedules. I've tried forcing myself to sign up for things, and it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work for me, Dylan. I just do what I can do, and seems to be the only thing that works. So,
see, but if that worked, I would just embrace it. Some days you're productive, some days you aren't, some days you're stressed, some days you aren't.
I need to embrace it and not feel like shit on the days that don't work.
Right.
Because there's certain days where I just like can't get myself to do anything, and I just feel terrible the whole time. So it's like it's not like I'm taking time off because I just feel terrible the whole time. So yes, I just need to learn how to balance that.
So hear me out. You have a little. Put a little mouse on your desk when you're in bed, right? And you just want to play on your Nintendo DS or you want to play on your Switch. Camera's pointed to you, microphone to the right, and you just have a TrueGameData stream in the bed. Whole time. 8-hour stream, 12-hour stream, who cares? Got a tub of ice cream on the right. You got potato chips on the left. You're just vibing. You know, who cares?
You have no idea how
Vodka, ice cream.
accurate this is.
But like, think about, there are people that would watch me sleep in that bed, Tony. Anybody would watch you.
I would watch you sleep in that bed.
Exactly. Why? But like, that's the thing is like, people want that intimacy. They want that like, this. I'm allowed to do this. I don't have to have like a 6-pack and look ripped all the time. I can sit in bed with ice cream. That sounds great. I want to watch that. And people will 100% like watch that, and you can talk with chat and be like a good relaxing vibe. Maybe it'll even uplift your mood. I don't know.
Except that I'll get asked why I put the rubberized grip on my gun 47 times in that stream.
So then you have to have a mod that double checks that while you're doing those kind of streams, like to time out people for 10 minutes.
GTFO.
Not that kind of day. Not that day. Tomorrow we'll come back
today.
tomorrow. 24 hours. We're clocked out
Say the
today.
word meta, you're out.
Yeah, meta's out. Any attachments are out. Anything regarding the last video is just an instant timeout. Like, just tell Jams to have like a flagged paragraph of just all words that people can't say, and and it's just like as soon as they type it, damn, 10 minutes gone. You can't. You're not even 10 minutes. 24 hours. Not until next stream you cannot type because you decided to be an asshole today. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. But where am I at here? Okay, perfect. This is where I take a switch into more like personal questions, if you want to call them. Where do you want to be 10 years from now, both of you guys?
I'm gonna sound pretty lame, but I mean, I'm kind of where I mean, okay, there's two parts to this. There's one where I am pretty happy with where I'm at right now. So I would love to I would love TrueGameData to still be around and be like either bigger or whatever we end up making it be. But I would love for it to still be my career 10 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
It's the most fun, most rewarding, most everything I've ever had out of a career. So that's the career side of it. Social side of it, 10 years from now, I'd love to have a family. I really, really, really want to be a family. I really want to be a mom. So, no idea what that looks like or where that's at or anything like that. But
right.
10 years from now, I'd love to have
couple kiddos running around.
So that's my relationship side of it. And then career wise, and I'd love to still be playing beach volleyball. I am obsessed with that.
Well, that kind of ties into, do you want to stay around San Diego then? Is that your plan? Or do you plan on moving out somewhere? Or
I don't have a plan. My family is very family oriented. I see my parents every week, multiple times a week. I see my brother very often. I fly to Chicago twice a year, 3 times a year to see my family out there. There are certain places that would be extremely hard for me to live unless I had a very good reason.
Mm-hmm.
I lived in Chicago for a long time. I do really enjoy sunshine. So having 6 months out of the year be complete snow and not be able to go outside is really kind of rough for me. But if I had a really good reason to go, I could be convinced. But I do. I'm right now. I'm very happy and it doesn't have to be San Diego, but I do love sun. I do
just
love
West Coast, East Coast,
365 days a year, being able to go outside and do whatever the hell I want to do is amazing. I have taken a lot more advantage of that. I did not take good advantage of it when I grew up here, but as an adult, I feel like I'm taking much better advantage of it. I walk everywhere. I go to the beach twice a week, 3 times a week. I'm out everywhere. I have now golfing once a week at least. I don't know. I'm trying to utilize the sun because it's the thing that makes me happy, whether or not it's just sitting outside. So, I'm not attached here. My parents are looking at Vegas. I've had some thoughts around Arizona, Colorado, stuff like that. But outdoors is very important to me.
Right.
So, yeah.
Tony.
So I'll do the same thing, I guess, like business wise and then life wise. Business wise, I hope that 10 years from now, TGD is huge and we're covering a million different games and we have a ton of different employees.
Oof.
And I hope it's less stressful for me because I hope it's just like going to be fine at that point. I don't have any clue if we're going to last that long, because it kind of depends on the games, obviously, if you need something like this. But also, I want to expand into other things. Like, like the profiles that we have on TGD for like saving your favorite things, like that can be done for any game pretty much.
Right.
You can save your favorite things, and there's just a huge space there. I think that
Even coming to Twitch, I think could be huge for it, because Twitch does every game, so you could have people who do. Sorry.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's all kinds of things that can be done there, not just weapon stats. And that's, I mean, TrueGameData is not true weapon stats.
Right.
Like
Have
it
you
can do anything, and I hope that someday we expand into all kinds of things. That's going to require me not being afraid of hiring people. That's something I have a really hard time with right now, is I don't trust anyone to do good work, and I don't trust them to be worth the insane cost that employees are like hiring someone who's good is just crazy how expensive it is. And like I feel like we make a ton of money right now, and yet we barely have enough for like 2.5 employees, which is crazy. So yeah, I just hope that TGD is still around, doing well, expanding. I hope I don't feel like I have to work every second of the day.
Have you thought about like partnering with streamers and content creators of like publicizing more TrueGameData? I don't know if I've seen you do that before.
We haven't done anything. Like it's all been like word of mouth, basically, just because it was a tool that was really useful to those people, so they used it in videos and stuff because that was the best way to make content. So like TGD like fed the content of all these content creators, which is why it was so huge.
Right, but I almost think that like partnering with specific streamers would help push it more. Like if you were to do like the way that like Lou is partnered by Sneak, how he pushes it out once or twice a video or a stream, like that could be good. Even having like a bottom left icon of just rotating TGD, you know, little things like that for other streamers.
We could do like we could even do like creator codes for like subscriptions.
That would be
so
huge
you could say,
too.
If Lucifer192 has convinced you should get TGD Premium, then he gets 10% or 15% of the subscription,
like knocked off every month or something. Yeah, like that could be really cool. It's also a good way to like interact with stream and networking. Like, I don't know how that would work with specific like bigger content creators. I don't know how that would parallel with like against JGod or whether it's an against thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like someone like, but for what you just said about like, I guess not maybe in the data space, but someone like Bread, we could have a huge partnership with him.
That's what I'm saying. Like it would be a really interesting thing.
I mean, he uses it for his channel.
It could be literally creator code kind of thing. Like there's no reason that anyone couldn't do it. Like it doesn't matter how big you are, because as long as you're pushing it and trying to get people to do it, even if it's one person, it doesn't matter. You get a benefit. Right. They get a benefit, and it pushes the website. So it's like it's a win for everybody involved.
Yeah, exactly. And even if it's like
and
the only
Pope
thing
just
you
said,
ask,
everyone promotes TGD for free. That's how we've gotten where we've gotten.
Exactly. But like think of, I mean, yeah, sometimes it's forced. Like HelloFresh is sometimes forced, or Sneak is sometimes forced. But some people do it in a very, very cute or funny way, and it makes it's like, oh, like that sounds really interesting, you know? Because I mean, the amount of times that I kill somebody in Warzone and they have a Ranger foregrip on their kilo pisses me off. I will never understand how a Ranger gets on that gun, but it's the only underbarrel I see. So I think TGD needs to be more across the world. No more Ranger foregrips, and that's just my 2 cents on it.
I mean, literally with like, yeah, no, I love that idea, because even as you just said, like with a rotating, like something as simple as having a rotating T or a logo in the bottom or a panel that they can upload.
Yeah, like what
people do for like, I have Stream Tunes. Like I have a Stream Tunes panel.
One of the things I have that pops up I think it's every 35 seconds or something random. It'll pop up and say YouTube or Twitch, and then like a follow or a like or whatever. Like that could be the same thing. It'll pop up at like TrueGameData.com, and you like it clicks on it, and then it goes away.
It could even be your profile. So like I have my profile set on mine, so mine shows up with my profile link, and so you can go to Gamer Girl profile. And you can
exactly. And I'm sure there are plugins you could do. I mean, like what you explained with Bread. Now he has it with as a chat thing. He uses it all the time, and people could just link to their thing, and it's an instant like, oh, if you want to use this code at checkout, and then it would publicize it. It would make it very, very profitable for both parties. Very, very interesting. Because I think a lot of people they do it for free, you know. So and free's good. Don't get me wrong, free's good, but I think having people push it out as often as possible is really good too. So that's just my 2 cents.
They're good 2 cents. Good 2 cents. From a personal side of things, 10 years from now, I feel like I'm just kind of ready to. I feel like I'm stuck in this weird middle ground where I'm like after college, but besides TGD, I'm just like, I have no goals. I have no anything. I'm just working. And I hope that in 10 years, I sure hope I've got something else going on, like a family or something. But I mean, it's not really something you can like make happen yourself. It just kind of happens. So.
Right. And I think a lot of people are like that though. They get their main goal of working up the company or starting their own company, starting their own business, and like that's their whole goal. But you know, you throw family in there, you throw pets in there, you throw relationships, and then it's like you get spread out more, and more goals are acquired, attained, and it kind of just goes.
If he doesn't get a dog in a year, I'm dropping a dog on his doorstep and making him have a dog.
I've been pushing Charles to get a corgi. I think a corgi would be great for you as well, Tony. They're very playful, very cute.
Little wiggle butt.
I do love a good corgi butt.
Corgis, they're so cute. Love them. They're expensive as all hell. One of the craziest things I heard about is somebody was buying a what's the mop dog called? So, like where they look like a big mop. Like they're the floppy ears, that their fur is like a mop.
Small, big.
I think it's pretty small. Is it a golden doodle maybe?
I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
It's something poodle.
Like a
I have no idea.
It's some type of poodle. It has to be a poodle.
Small dogs that just have like a shit ton of hair.
No, it's definitely bigger.
No, there's some small. Anyway, okay, I don't know.
But whatever. The dog was $1,800 when they bought it before COVID hit. Now it was $4,500. Like it completely quadrupled in price. I'm like, what the hell? Like, why would you want to buy a dog for that much? Oh my god.
One of my friends just bought a pure vet for $3,000, and I was like,
that's a fucking investment, dude. That's not even including food or anything else. That's buying the dog. Like, oh my god. I just don't know if people can do that. But yeah, definitely put a dog on your list, Tony. I think you would have a great time.
Yeah, I know.
It helps with going for walks. Like, you know,
I want to buy a house and I want to know where I'm living.
Mm-hmm.
And
see, but that's the stress. The de-stress is having the pet. You see,
I agree.
You got to have both.
I agree.
Like again, when Warzone goes to shit, I literally go over there, I smooch that little fucker's forehead, and it's all good. We're back to normal.
I agree.
We reset. You know, it's I don't know. I don't pay for the cat. I feed the cat, but you know, he doesn't shit everywhere, which is kind of nice. But you know, he's probably getting to that point when he starts getting angry with us. This is probably one of the most personal perspectives of the whole question pool. What is a life lesson that you guys learned the hard way?
Can't trust everybody.
That's a good one, though.
Mine.
That's about all I have to say on that subject.
That probably goes into your employee thing, though. You don't want to pay someone this much if they're only going to do that much work. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to balance that.
Trust is hard in general.
Mm-hmm.
Mine is to be part of the moment, and it sounds kind of probably dumb since you just said that, because yours is much more
they don't have to be like philosophical, you know.
Mine is enjoy the moment, no matter how upset, angry, whatever emotions you're feeling. You have to enjoy. If you're in a moment that's may not happen again, you got to enjoy it.
Right,
I was at a concert. Yeah, I was at a concert when I was really young. It was my first concert, Jimmy Buffett.
Oh.
And I was high school, but I was pissed off at my parents. I was like super, super, super angry, and for whatever reason. And I sat there and pouted the whole time. And like, I was on my phone, and I was like, I wouldn't talk to them, and they were singing and having a great time, and I was just sitting there like pouting on the blanket, like not doing anything. Totally ruined the entire concert for everybody. And the last song was Fins, and my mom forced me out of my fit to dance to the song at the very end. And like, I'll never go to a Jimmy Buffett concert again. And like, not that it was like this huge revelation, but I did learn that I ruined it for myself.
Right.
So going, no matter what is going on in your life, if you are out somewhere, basically put it aside for that hour or 2 hours or whatever you're doing, and just be there, because you may not have that chance again to do the thing that you were doing. And sometimes obviously there are higher things that matter more, but I think that's a very good general rule that I've learned, is just in the moment, you gotta be there, because you may not get the chance again.
It also almost comes down to, so many people live in the past, so they worry about the future, they forget about the present, and it's right here where you have it, you know. And it's something we get caught up in schedules, life, work, family, and it's just like you forget to be in the moment sometimes. And especially when you're fighting, like life slows down, you get more emotional, And it's like, just take a step back for a second and like think about what's happening. Am I learning here? Is it just a moment to feel, to understand? And so many people just get caught up in it. It's hard to not get caught up in it. Don't get me wrong, because we're all learning about it.
Yeah. And phones make it that much worse too. So like my grandma
Right.
keeps me in check every time I see my grandma. She basically makes me put my phone away for however long I'm with her. And it's like, she's not going to be around forever. And again, as I said, my family's very, very family oriented. And so I love it. I basically put my phone in a bin whenever I'm with her, because it's not worth me responding to whatever's going on, unless of course it's like
Emergency, right?
But like for the most part, things that come through my phone are not emergencies, and I may not see her tomorrow. So like it's those 5 hours I get to spend without any distraction, just her on one-on-one time, is very, very important. And I think people lose that quite often.
Oh, absolutely. It's also the same thing with like mental health. Like if you can open up this and you see 1 billion people smiling, 1 billion people that look great. And it's just like, you don't understand that for that one photo, there were 100 that looked worse. For that 1 minute you saw it, there's however many minutes in a day. That's where it's not looking perfect. You know, like there's errors, there's human flaws, like, and then we just don't see it all the time. And I think
people's lives are absolutely perfect, and then that yours is messed up because it's not perfect. But
right.
if I can take a perfect photo and post it every day while I'm crying, like, you know, you can like,
yeah, you wipe the ice cream off your face, the tears, the makeup on, and then it's like, aha. And then, yeah, you go back to it. Well, that's the thing is like, that's why I think I prefer Twitch over YouTube now, is that YouTube is so fabricated. Everything look perfect. But this is real. This is live. It's in real time. And you can't hide the emotions. Like if somebody actually says something like offensive or aggressive, you can instantly see it and see who they really are. In YouTube, you can hide it all. Oh, right. But it's so, for me, it's almost like I'm a human. I make mistakes. I say things. And on my channel, I'm very big on politics, religion, and like talking about it openly. So like I offer my opinion, but also some people are like, hey, that's very privileged or very male of you to say. And I'm like, oh, like what's the opposing side of that? And I learn about it. And it's like, yes, it's very raw and unfiltered, but some people get really offended that I'm like saying shit that I shouldn't be. But it's like, I don't know. This is how I was raised in a Midwest country or state, and I'm white. I'm sorry, I'm a white male, you know? And like, tell me your side, give me your opinion, your experience with it, so I can learn. Because I use this as a learning experience. I understand a lot more than I probably shouldn't at 22, because most people my age are probably off getting married 100 years ago, you know? And then they didn't get a different perspective on things. So for me, I'm very blessed to be where I am today, and like being able to interview people and get different opinions and experiences and angles on things, because not everybody gets those, you know? So very happy. Can you come say hi, dude? Oh, man, he keeps walking away. That also too, it kind of takes you away from whatever you're doing, Tony, just to say hi to your pet for a moment, and you just kind of forget what you're saying. It's very nice, very, very good for de-stressing. So this is kind of ties in exactly what I was saying with the experience side of things. But Kristina, what are some of your experiences having to navigate a very male-dominated field with coding?
It doesn't even have to be coding. It can be engineering. It can be anything. I've had, I mean, what kind of experience are you looking for?
Good, bad, what you would change, what you hated. You can also
a lot more.
You can also say it as a career point, and then also from TrueGameData's perspective, like as both.
Well, okay, TrueGameData is not even remotely an issue because he's my best friend. So like, it's not even there's
literally, I'm not a shitty person.
Exactly.
No, but not only, yes, there's that, but also it's just, we have a completely different relationship than a normal. You're my best friend, so like I've had a lot of male bosses who have been absolute dickheads, like literal just dickheads to me. And then I've had a number of male bosses who treated me like I didn't quite know what I was doing, but they were very nice to me because I was a woman, and like they had to be nice to me. So like I've had a variety of on the whole, some probably negative interactions with men, but I don't like TrueGameData can't even be part of that. It's a totally different
right. Well, how about like as a I don't know, do some people belittle you for being a woman as working through TGD? Like that was kind of the route I was taking.
Oh, I have never been belittled.
Okay.
I don't think
that was kind of like the worry in the back of my head.
I think TrueGameData is very different than I don't know why that is actually, but I think it's partially because of the Twitch too. So people can see me as I have never, I don't think, had anybody they might have told you some things that they don't tell me, but I have not been personally told anything like, oh, you do a shit job because you're a woman, or any kind of anything.
That's just me that says that.
I have
Jesus,
never
Tony.
had. I don't think that people have said that. Again, at least not to me. I've had it said to me in other jobs, but never
So,
here.
do you think it's because of the community that you have as a whole and our community as a whole? Like how we're
100
like decent
yeah.
people, you know?
Our community, we have built an insanely, in general, respectful and like good people community. I think are the people that we have surrounded ourselves with as a whole are amazing. And I don't think any one of us judges me because I'm a woman for anything. I don't get the feeling that people dislike me or think little of
too,
me
koala.
because I'm a girl. Like I don't think that's I really don't think that we have those people around us,
Right.
Which is incredible. It's incredible to be part of that. But I definitely know that it's out there because I've definitely experienced it in
Right.
three of my 5 jobs. So, yeah.
I almost want to say it's because, like, even though we all come from different backgrounds, we have a very, very similar mentality of life and like bad experiences. And you see it as a raw and unfiltered way. Like you see people that make mistakes. Well, it doesn't matter what your gender is, it doesn't matter how old you are, your sexuality. It's like we all make mistakes. We're all human and we understand that. And I think what people get caught up when the actual workspace and the job is that they forget that. They think that your sole purpose is to come in, get your shit done, and if you fuck up, I'm going to find a way to hurt you. And like that's all it is. And here it's very, very like we understand when things go wrong, and I think we have a better perspective on life because of that. But yeah, we also weed out the kind of trashy, bigoty people, and which is also really good.
Yeah.
But no, that was just it was a good take because I figured that TGD wasn't as bad as it would be, or you probably wouldn't be in that position. You know what I mean? You would have probably moved on or found something different. But that is good though. I'm very thankful that it hasn't been a shit show for you.
No, and I've never actually thought about it, so it's kind of interesting to think about because I don't know why it's different now, actually. But yeah, I mean, my first 3 were definitely not great, and then it's different now, and I don't know why.
Yeah,
I'm very grateful for it.
Yeah,
But
food for thought as well. This one's very, very your perspective, your experience, and your opinion, right? What do you want to see changed regarding the very male-dominated space that is video games?
I don't know. I don't know how to answer this. I am someone who thinks that if you are good at things, then you are good at things. And I think in general, men tend to be better at a lot of shooters than women. So I don't necessarily know that it's ever going to not be a male dominated space.
Right. But you don't think
And
that stems from
I
like
guess-
playing at them at a young age and like having all that more experience with it? Or
What did you say?
so like I started playing video games when I was 7 years old. Like my first shooter on a controller was 7 years old. I'm 23 now, basically. That's a lot more experience than for example, my ex-girlfriend, who she played maybe 2 or 3 years of Mortal Kombat and then Stardew Valley. And she was like, I want to try Warzone. And she felt really bad because comparing, 17 years of experience versus 1 day of experience, So sometimes I think it's just demoralizing.
I don't think it's so there. I guess the things that I wish would quote unquote change is if a woman is good, accept that she is just good at the game.
Right.
That it has nothing to do with anything else. That she is just good at the game.
Yep.
I think it's weird. The same question can be said for everything, like engineering space and web development space and tech space, and like it's all male dominated. But as far as video games go, I don't think women are randomly just going to start playing at 7 because that's just not.
That's what he's saying. He's saying it's you think it's. Do you think it's a biological thing or a
like
life
environment, your
experience thing
society? Like
that
video games
leads
weren't
to
predominant
how
for
good they are
kids.
at shooters?
You're asking me what I think makes them good?
No, like so from your experience, like if you were to change something, would you have it be more open for women to be playing games at a younger age? Like, do you think that because I started at 7, I am better than you at a video game?
What I was trying to say is I don't think it's that it wasn't more open. I played 007 with my brother. We played the same. We played 007 Nightfire. He loved it.
Right.
I was like, meh, this is fun. I get to play with my brother, but I'm gonna go play Ratchet and Clank or DDR. Like that
Right.
was just
Or
how
story-driven games. Yes.
I liked other types of games growing up, and then I got into gaming because of World of Warcraft. So like I have another inlet that wasn't a shooter, and then I started kind of expanding.
Right.
My brother liked 007 and all these other things from that young age, and I don't think that's something that's just gonna. That's why I don't think it's not open to women right now. I think it's just that probably in general, I hate making generalized statements, but that's probably just not the interests that are shared at that time.
Right. And so many people will make the argument against that. It's just like they're not inclusive to women when it comes to a first-person shooter.
I don't feel that way, but I might be biased just because I grew up with it. I mean, literally, I played shooters with my brother. I played Nuketown with my brother for a long time, but I was never good. It wasn't super interesting. I played it because I played with him.
Yeah.
And I wanted to play with him. It wasn't that I wasn't included at all. I just was. It wasn't the most interesting thing to me.
Right.
Yeah.
So like same with my little sister, she played a lot of zombies with us growing up. We played Full Auto, which is basically a bunch of Mustang cars with machine guns on them. It was really cool. But she just wasn't a fan of them. She moved more towards like Sims and Stardew Valley, and it was just like more communicative and relationship based games. Yep. And like maybe that's a biological thing. Maybe that's just like how women like to be perceived in it. Like that's how they want to play video games. Like that's okay, you know. And video games aren't just first person shooters. Or they aren't just like to learn something or to talk about mental health. Like it's whatever you want it to be. But so many people get caught up in that violent shooter made that person violent, and that's why. Like there's no background on it. There's no like it's because they were raised this way or the environment. You know what I mean? So
I think Sims has made me more violent than a shooter.
Well,
I have so many people in those pools.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is I think like you put the ladder, they go in, you take the ladder away, they're like, oh my god, you know. I love that concept. That was so cool.
Yeah, I think Sims did more of that than any shooter.
But I almost think it's because it seems, I don't know. It's like, don't get me wrong, Call of Duty is very realistic, but then you throw like Snoop Dogg in there, and you throw Godzilla and Mechagodzilla, and it's like, oh, it's a game. But then there are some times in those campaigns where like this is way too realistic. Like there is a, I think it's Battlefield 5 or 1, whatever the second newest Battlefield is. The campaigns was versed by like real Germans that spoke really good German. Like they spoke German. But like the screams that they had were way too realistic. They had to redo them and make them less realistic. Like it sounded like they were actually being tortured, and it's like that's a little too scary to think about. So it's very interesting that some games are too realistic and some are not as realistic, and then it kind of plays a role.
So I'm reading her chat a little bit, and like so for instance for Mickey's thing where she knows a lot of women who used to play but were treated so poorly online. I've just not had that experience because to be honest, I wasn't playing online until I played World of Warcraft or something like I played RuneScape and I played I think I did Age of Empires online, but no one knew that like it wasn't the same as any kind of shooters, so maybe shooters are a little bit more geared.
It's voice chat.
Yeah, voice chat's the biggest thing.
Woman in those things.
Yeah, so I don't know. My experience just hasn't been negative, so I'm not probably the best one to represent that, but
it's just insane. Like it's actually crazy how it's like almost baked into the like specifically it seems like the Call of Duty community that people are just horrible to women online. If there's any anonymity involved, they're just terrible to them. And it just does not make sense to me. And I don't know how you fix that besides just
fixing the person.
Just as a community, but that's like a societal thing. Like a lot of these people probably don't watch streams, they don't watch YouTube. So even if you're a good influence on those platforms, it's not going to matter.
Right.
It's just something that has to change over time. And I think it is changing, but
slowly.
It's just going to take a long time, unfortunately. And I don't know what you do to speed that up.
I don't know if you've played Valorant before, Grill, but that's probably the game that that's the game that I've had the most experience with women in, actually. Like was it me, Chris, Peanut, and Shampoo? We rotated out some people. 1 in 3 games, one in 3 games, there was always a girl on our team. And I was like, wow, like this is a lot more women than I was expecting from a game, especially 1, it's a first person shooter, and 2,
Overwatch
that was
Overwatch.
that way
too.
Oh, really? See, I didn't play a lot of Overwatch. That's probably why. Or like, I think most people 5-man stack in games like that because they're worried about racists or stupid teammates or whatever it may be, you know? But in Warzone, maybe I get less experience with it because we're always 4-man stack. We're never randoming filling, and you know what I mean? But no, you're right. If there's a lot of anonymity regarding women in a game, less women are going to play that game. It just makes sense. Like they're basically being pushed out. Whereas I know Valorant's had a lot of retribution when it comes to when something happens, there's action taken on Twitter or on Twitch or something, and then more people can kind of come to a safer space. And that's the good thing about voice chat is, one, you can record it, but the downside is you hit them where it hurts when you want to. If you want to cause harm, you can. And that's a good thing. It's a bad thing. So it just kind of sucks. But I think you're right, Tony. I think years down the line, we're getting better and we're going to somewhere safer. It's just going to take a lot of time. A lot of punches are going to need to be thrown, and words are probably going to need to be said to people who are being an idiot. But I think we're getting there slowly.
Yeah, I agree that it's societal. That's kind of when I said at the beginning, it's not just video games. It's everywhere. It's just an acceptance. Workplace and socials and
and a lot of the actual like hateful aspects of it come from the anonymity of the internet.
Yes,
like, these people would never say those things to you in person.
Oh, absolutely not.
I've been on like fall teams where people have treated me pretty shitty.
I'm not saying they're not. I'm not saying there aren't people who treat women shitty. That's not. I know that that's not true. I'm saying that they wouldn't be as like hateful and just actually terrible directly to you as they are online. And it's just insane.
It's the same with death comms. Like
it
people
baffles me.
People wouldn't be saying the N-word like for a death com, because I'm sure that they're comms. Exactly. But like it's what is the word that causes the most harm in my fucked up head, and that's the word that comes to mind. And that's why they do it. It's the same thing when you hear a woman, the first thing that some dumb person's brain's gonna go is, what can I do to hurt this person? And that's just well, make me a sandwich. You know, it's just like that's how it works. It's ingrained in our society. It's what we know. It causes the most harm. It's the same thing when you are very close with somebody and you have an argument. You know what's going to hurt them, and you know how to win a battle. So like that's what you're going to say. And I think it just stems from some people's outlet is video games, and that's how they get their stress out, even though it's unfortunate. But like, you know, over time you learn that that's not a good outlet. You learn, like, as a kid, I'm sure I said some pretty bad shit. I was the squeaker in a Modern Warfare 2 lobby going, I'll get fucking shit on, you know? And I'm sure I heard some pretty rough stuff. But it's like, you kind of learn and adapt and understand that this isn't okay. And from a societal point, like, that's not okay anymore. Like, people are understanding that LGBTQ+, racism, sexism, you know, all of this equity and equality is coming through, and it's being pushed into the media, which is great. But some people hate it, and that's the problem. Is that when you're super against things, you spark contrast and fights and shootings and everything else, and things happen. But it is changing, and that's the good thing. Is we're slowly getting somewhere, and I'm glad to be a part of it, but also scared to see what comes next, kind of thing. Because I think it's going to be a lot of fighting and a lot of violence to get to where we want to be, which is terrifying to think about. I don't know, but yeah. Nice little food for thought, deep subject that I like to kind of bring into it.
Question pretty much made me just realize that I'm extremely lucky to have the experience that I've had, because I have not had.
You just have people that you play with, like if you have friends that you play with, that solves the problem. But then if girls come in there and they play with people they don't know at all, it's terrible, and then they don't play anymore. So it's like a self-perpetuating thing.
Yeah.
So I don't want to tell you to do this, Grill, but you should try a day where you only play random fill and use voice comms, just to see how bad it really is. It'd be fun. Yeah, I would even recommend not being on stream for that too.
No, I wouldn't do it on stream,
because you're gonna get some rough shit. But it's also like, it gives you a perspective of how fucked up in the head people are. You know what I mean? But like, that's the thing, is like, how do we change that? As Tony said, it's a society thing. It's over time. It'll slowly get pushed away. There's always going to be that, 1% of people that are weird. But I think we are pushing out as a whole. It's going away, and I'm glad. I'm glad to be a part of that. When it comes to making mistakes, if we learn from them, why do you think people are afraid to make them? For both of you guys.
Make mistakes, Dylan. I don't know what you're talking about. This is a question for Kristina only.
Damn, that was sexist.
No, that was personist.
Good. You got your bases covered.
Mistakes are scary. They can have really, really big consequences. Yeah, you can learn from them, and I actually think that they're very important. I think people need to fall sometimes to be able to stand up taller. But falling, depending on if you fall on sharp rocks or if you fall on sand, can totally change how well you stand up or how long it takes you to stand up again.
Absolutely.
If you fall off a cliff, you're going to take a year to get back up. If you just fall down in the sand, you have about 3 days to stand up. So it's very scary to see how long it's going to take to come back and what that road is going to look like. I do think Yeah, so that's probably my answer, is that you don't know. You don't know if it's going to take 2 days, if it's going to take a year, if it's going to actually cause you to go change how you think about something, which is also very scary.
Mhm.
It's unknown. People are always scared of the unknown. So I
Right.
think you just, what is the mistake going to cause? You don't know. I hope that most people know that you do tend to learn from them, or you hope you do, but you just don't know what it is going to impact, what aspects of your life.
It's also like, sorry, I was reading chat too. I'm not supposed to do that. I'm the streamer and the interviewer. It's weird because so many people are scared to make the mistake because they're scared of society frowning upon them, even though we do learn from a majority of our mistakes, you know, and whether it's a healthy learning or a bad, unhealthy way of learning it, there's still that knowledge and understanding there. And then it's also, how do you use that newfound knowledge? You know, do you use it to better yourself? Do you use it to walk away from like worse situations? Do you block yourself out off and like have to take a while to recuperate and get back to where you were? It just kind of depends, you know, and that's terrifying to think about. Do you have a real answer, Tony? I'm curious to pick your brain for this one.
Honestly, I was joking, but at the same time, I also like overthink things to the 9,000th degree. So I honestly have not made that many big mistakes in my life.
Mhm.
I've made some, and I've learned from them. But
But then why are you afraid to make them? Because I'm guessing you're afraid to
I'm
make.
terrified to make mistakes. That's
So-
why I don't make mistakes,
But what
because
does
I
it
think
stem
about it for
from?
14 days beforehand.
So it
But
stems
why
from
are you
like
afraid?
your mental, like you overthink it, and then if you were to make a mistake, for example, would you just punish yourself? Or was it come from like family, society, friends?
I honestly have no idea where it comes from, but yeah, I'm terrified to make mistakes. Like,
I think
totally.
we all are. I think for me, the hardest thing is like, I don't know if it's a learning experience during that moment. Like if I'm going to fuck up here, or like if I get into an accident or something, like, am I going to learn from it? I don't know. And if you're not going in with an open mind, because nobody wants mistakes to happen. Nobody wants an accident to happen. But it's like, if you go in with an open mind, how do you go in with an open mind without forcing that mistake to happen? You know what I mean? Like it's impossible to tell when it's going to happen. And yeah, it's hard to be in that headspace when it actually happens. It's like, okay, I need to learn from this. I need to like relax, you know, breathe and kind of get through it, you know? So yeah, mistakes are terrifying. I want to say I touched on this because I talked about balancing earlier. How do you unwind when life gets too chaotic?
Life goes to
I like
shit.
the life goes to shit, and you said life gets.
I tend to go back and forth because I have to cut off some of these cursing. I'm like, cursing's fine, but I had in my 6-hour Psycho video, every time I died, I said fuck, shit, or damn it. And I had to like censor it, and it was like, I don't know, 5 minutes of censoring.
Oh Lord, we starting.
So
Don't listen to my answer, kids. But
you got some Tito's?
Oh Lord, we starting.
there's your answer.
I don't know how you can do that shit
Actually, though,
straight. Oh my god.
a tiny,
Dude,
tiny.
He's nuts. No, you're nuts.
Okay, I'm nuts.
You never mix it with anything. Like.
It's fine.
It's like water
But-
to him now.
That was a joke, but actually, like, my brother has an extremely stressful life, and he doesn't ever drink. So, like, on the weekends, he'll have like 1 beer or 2 beers, and it just makes him like so much more
Shit-faced.
relaxed, and he can just
yeah.
chill and play video games. And he's so like, you know, stressed and stuff all the time that just like 1 or 2 beers really, really helps him just have fun on the weekends and forget about.
Right, and I
his
think
weekly life.
it's the same with caffeine. If you limit your caffeine, the first coffee you have is gonna like, oh, you know.
Exactly.
So-
Also, he weighs like 150 pounds, so
Oh, shit.
he's small.
He's a small
He's
boy.
very
He's the really tall guy, isn't he? Like,
No, he's 5'9".
oh, I could have swore he was like your height.
No,
Well, I guess
he's a
it's
little
close.
smaller than me.
Yeah, a little smaller. Yeah, but like relaxation. What do you guys do?
I have been in a very stressed state for about 3 months now, and I have not done a very good job of unwinding. I think for me, being one-on-one with someone helps. I am a very, we don't even have to like talk, really, but just like sitting or watching a TV show with someone else in the same room helps me decompress a little bit. Or it's kind of like that living in the moment thing. If I can just do so, like I'll go or playing like playing volleyball. It's a different kind of stress. So I'm still technically stressed, but it is unwinding for a way because it takes me away from everything that's in my current stress, and I go out and I do something completely different and I redirect it, and then I can come back. It's the same thing if I go hang out with someone. It's maybe not for a long time, but even just like an hour or two of just doing something else definitely helps me. But I don't know, I haven't been doing a great job of unwinding lately.
Yeah.
But
Jam said it best. It's chosen stress, but also like I wouldn't say that working out is stressful. It is because you're putting stress on your muscles, but you're also relaxing and decompressing from everything else, you know? So
no, I agree with Jams. It's choosing. I agree. You choose something else to stress about rather than the things I can't totally control.
Yeah. Like I can't imagine Jesse's stress with the whole, I mean, building up to owning that house. Like it's completely out of your control.
Right now. There's a thing that's very loud driving by.
Oh. Should I
street's clean enough.
Should I yell louder? Hi! Am I good?
Not yet.
Just close the window. Tilt the fan forward, but
it's nice out, Tony.
I literally just turned my headphones up all the way, and we're listening to you through the headphones. That's why we can't hear you when there's anything loud going on.
That's smart. Yeah. As long as you don't blow a headphone out.
Yeah.
No, I was saying like I couldn't imagine Jesse's stress going through the house situation. Like he has no control over whether he got that house or not beforehand, and it's just like weighing on you all day. Like where am I gonna live a year from now? You know, like that shit scares me.
Yeah, for me, definitely like talking to friends and stuff, hanging out with friends, watching a TV show with friends.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely the thing.
It's being
I hate being alone.
Not just being yourself.
Yeah,
my entire life is alone, and I hate being alone, so that's perfect.
It's scary. It's scary to be stressed and be stuck in your head with no
like way to vent it out.
To feel isolated.
Yeah,
I mean that's scary.
One of the best ways that I vented a lot in high school and early college was writing, like poetry and like writing down my emotions. And then I found a game out of it. I'm like, how can I make my emotions rhyme? It's like, haha, pain, but like rhyming pain. And it's so much fun. And that's kind of how I got into poetry. And I was like, oh, it's kind of cool. I
definitely keep a journal, but I've realized that it doesn't do the same as just
talking,
having someone you can talk to.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
Like it helps if it helps in the moment, because like if I am angry or it's that kind of super negative emotion, obviously like there's no fight. But at the same time, when I'm just stressed or if I just need to chill out, the journal's not going to help me chill out. It's going to in fact probably make it worse because I'm just thinking about it. But if I'm with somebody else, or I can talk to them, or they can try to help me, or we can focus on something else, it definitely takes me out of my head.
Absolutely, yeah. And sometimes being stuck in your head is like worse than anything else that you're doing in your life, you know, like getting stuck in here, you're kind of trapped, you don't know how to get out, and just having that person next to you, like that's it's grounding. It's like you're part of the world, there's somebody else here that's experienced something similar to you, and you feel grounded in life, and it's really good to have.
Yeah.
I don't know how poetic you are, Tony, but what is a quote that you guys think that everyone should live by?
A day without laughter is a day wasted. I'm gonna answer first before I lose it.
Tony?
It's been her email signature for the last 45 years.
I think it's a great quote. I love that quote. A day without laughter is a day wasted.
I have no idea.
Nothing, really?
I got nothing up in the brain, dude.
Oh, come on.
Your money don't jiggle jiggle.
It folds. Yeah. Pick up the folding.
Pick that up.
There's a lot of good ones out there. I think the one that I have at the top of my head that I always say is don't comfort me with a lie, hurt me with the truth. Because I don't want to be what's it called, weighed down by false opinions and everything else. So just hit me with it, Tony. Call me ugly. Comfort me, hurt me with the truth, but never comfort me with a lie. So I just take it brunt.
That's a good one too.
Really, Tony? You don't have a single quote you've lived by? Nothing?
I don't have any quotes, dude.
What? Make up one. Give me the Tony special.
The Tony special.
A Tito's a day keeps the demons away.
That's to be my new email signature.
See, now all you have to do is get
I
partnered
like
with
him.
Tito's.
He's good at this. That was amazing.
I do the PR. Woo. But no. There's a bunch of cute quotes you can look up.
Jan, I don't think that's true. Is why.
The worst day at the golf course is better than the best day at work.
I don't think that's true.
No?
There's a reason I quit.
Yeah.
Damn. That's a good point. Are there any additional thoughts, concerns, questions, opinions up in the heads?
Concerned. Very concerned.
Very concerned? Oh no.
How are you so beautiful?
Me?
Yeah.
Are you talking to yourself right now? I think you're talking to yourself right now.
You.
Dude, I
No.
look like a red tomato. Look, like, because of the way my lighting works, I just look so red. You guys are golden.
We're golden.
You're shiny, like you're the heavens above, you know. But no, I wanted to thank you guys for this interview. Like, this is probably my favorite thing of all time. I look forward to it every week because it's a way of me finding my niche and combining what I learned in school and also like what I do for stream. And I get to see you guys on a more personal level, and everyone does, you know, because so many people we see them from their work on YouTube, their live streams. You don't get to like deep dive into like what they're thinking, how they view life, their experiences, and you kind of miss out on that. So this is my favorite thing. I like to open this up to chat for any questions they have, any concerns, anything they want to ask Tony and or Kristina. But if not, that's all I've got here for you guys today.
Well, thank you for the interview that I didn't know was happening.
You did great for being on the spot.
Thank you.
For Chris making one.
Grill jam? Oh, do you need a fourth for golfing this weekend?
Yes, because Loop bailed on me.
Oh, that handsome devil. Jam says
he
you'll
doesn't
catch a
know. He
flight.
wants to hang out, but
Does Loop live in Cali or does he live?
he lives in LA.
Oh, nice.
We're going to. Well, I'm going to.
The TwitchCon meetup this year is going to be unrivaled. I'm so excited. There's going to be so many people. I know. I'm so excited. Although there are a couple people that I know that I can't come. I don't think Looter can come. I don't know if Kath can come. But like everyone else that I know so far, they all can come. So I'm very excited. And there's so many things cool.
Traveling so far.
It was nice hearing Tony say something other than use this gun in the attachment. That's a good point. Tony's a very quiet guy, even though he thinks he's so loud.
I got a lot of stuff going on in the brain, but not a lot of it comes out.
No, I'm the same way. I try to keep a lot of my stuff like in the back of my head. But it's weird.
You're
Whenever
the same way.
I try to, yeah. So like, okay, you think what I'm saying is like what's going on in my head. This is just what I'm saying. Like, there's nothing going on up here right now. I'm not thinking about anything. This is just what's happening in the moment. Bro, am I that loud? Oh my god, I'm sorry. I gotta quiet down now.
You and I in the same category, probably, as far as how we speak and act.
That's true. I'm also a lot more. I think it's because of my degree. I was forced to put myself out there more. Like communication with the focus in PR. But also like when I was doing interviewing in focus groups, I always like nobody would be like, "Hey, I'll do it." I'm just like, "All right, put me in," you know. And then I think I built off of the public speaking from streaming. I built off of the conversations from interviewing and focus groups. And then I just kind of learned to mesh that in with my personality. And then it just kind of works, I guess. Some people say I have a friendly looking face too, which I think is bullshit, but that's okay. I'll let them lie to me like that. But yeah, if there anything else for... Oh, Kenny says he felt the ground shake. Was that you benching the earth? Jams wants to know what the meta is.
STG and Blixen.
Dude, can we talk about why that Blixen's so strong? Like just to bring it back to work for a moment here, because like,
nutty.
Well, we pushed the health pool. They increased the health, which is great, right? And every other gun went to kind of like a lower tier because health was increased. And they were like, "Oh, hey, here's this new gun that kills you in 4 bullets." Like, who thought that was a good idea?
Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't understand. Wait, what was Mickey's question? Mickey's question is, who is your favorite person that you have met through Twitch, Kristina, and why is it Mickey and not Churros?
Not fair. We talked about this. Because Mickey gives me shiny Rayquazas.
That's fair. Ooh, Tony, who's your favorite person you've met from Twitch so far?
Who's my favorite person from Twitch?
All time.
So far?
All time.
It's not a good question.
Oh, come on. You've got to have a favorite.
And why is it Mickey?
I mean, I've met a lot of fantastic people, obviously.
You're not going on to a public speech. Save all the shitty crap.
Honestly, like I've met the best friends I've had my whole life through Twitch. But Art's a pretty special person. Art Absolutely. Is a very, very unique person. And I appreciate a lot of what he is. So I'm gonna go with Art.
Final answer?
Final answer.
You have won the $1 million for this segment of the stream. No, I think a lot of people would say, like, if they actually, I'm really upset I haven't met him in person yet. I missed him when he was on a work thing when I flew or drove down to San Diego. But the way that his mind does things, the way he's experienced things, his view on life is just very different than everybody else's that I've met. I would say for me, top 5 has to be Jesse, Charles, Coda, probably Savage, 2C, and then you're up there, Tony. In that, I don't know what the top 5 is, but like it's a combination of a lot of things. It's work ethic, it's views on life, how you cope, how you explain things to people, and what you're doing. And I think everyone's in a very different spot of like that, you know, whether your stats are all, nobody's got it maxed out. No one's perfect. You know what I mean? But like some people are very good at explaining what goes on in their life, like Jesse. Some people have a very good work ethic and know how to work behind doors, like you. Coda's very good at finding what's special to him. He's been doing this for years now. And it was so cool to see him finally do it. For Savage is just like too open about what he's very, very, this is my opinion, whether you like it or not. You know what I mean? Like he's very, very vocal about that, which is awesome. I'm missing somebody. Charles. I think Charles has all stats maxed out. I think he's a superpower.
Charles is really up there for me. Yeah. To be totally honest. I've gotten a lot closer to him lately. We golf all the time now, and he and I can have very intellectual and personal and just good conversations with him. He's a very good guy. Mm-hmm. He's very much up there for me.
Absolutely agree. And I want to interview him again now that I've finally understood what this is and like pick more of his brain. But yeah, that's
his dance moves intimidate me too much. That's why he's not my number one.
We haven't done karaoke yet, so as soon as we do karaoke, he'll be my number one.
Wait, you've danced with him, Tony, or did he like challenge you to a duel of dancing and then you lost?
No, he just dances sometimes, and it's intimidating. It's like
he starts gyrating his hips and I get scared. Like
I can't handle it.
What is your favorite / most fun season of Warzone for both of you guys?
I don't know what season it would be, but when I first discovered the Bruin, like the day the Bruin came out and was put in the game, this was before I was a content creator at all. And it was like at the point where I was really into the stats. What are you smiling at?
Tony got those wet boy hips.
It was before I had made TGD, before I made YouTube videos or anything, but I was still really into the stats at that point. And the Bruin came out, I went and tested it myself and felt the recoil, and I was like, damn, this thing's gonna beat the Growl.
At 60
and so
round,
like
right?
I had like a solid month or two where nobody else was using the Bruin, and I was just frying everyone with that thing. And that's what I loved early on, was like finding these things that were better than what everyone else was using.
Were you
now I ruined it because now I just tell everyone what the best is. But
were you tack laser or were you under barrel stock thing?
The original was tack laser, right? It was monolithic, long barrel tack laser, optic, 60 round mag.
Yeah, but I didn't like the tack laser. I liked
you're wrong.
I liked having the zero recoil because it was the Growl but with a bit more damage, right? The ADS time was a little slower, so I had to like zoom in quicker, or I had to like ADS first. I don't know. The Growl I think is just the most fun meta though. The Ironside Growl was just beautiful. Oh my god.
Were you playing like that early on? Were you playing on independent or affected FOV?
Because
it was not that good. It was not that good on affected, and that was before I was playing on affected, so I loved it too.
Right.
But
see, knowing my luck, I was probably on my 144 hertz monitor for the first time, but it was locked at 60, so I didn't even feel it was better. And I was like, this is a fucking waste of money. What was this terrible? But I think it was my buddy who got me into it. But I was like, yeah, once I finally turned it on, I was like, oh my god, it's so butter smooth. But no, I was probably on.
She can't even tell the difference when it's on high
hertz or not. It's insane.
What, really?
Literally half the time I'll go over there and her settings have reset and she's on 60 hertz and she just doesn't even know. And I'm like,
so what I like to do
it's
is
night and day to me.
Yeah, if are you on a 240 hertz or 144 right now, Tony?
240.
Grab a file on your desktop and just move it around. Like I open a Word document and I move it around. Try to read the word as it's moving. That's how you can tell.
Yeah.
And like for me, it's like when I hit 240 hertz at 1440p, I'm like, this is the best thing I've ever seen. This is amazing, and I'm never going back because it's just like you can read the word as it's moving around, and it's like it's incredible. But yeah, it's I thought Charles was in here. I got so excited. I think he's lurking. If anything, he's had a big, super busy work like month and a half or so. Good God. Oh, what's your favorite, Kristina? Meta, gun, season?
It's obvious.
I really love my Swiss AK.
Oh,
Swiss Cold War AK. Everybody here knew that already.
see, I didn't like that build because you moved so slow. Like, I don't think the Cold War AK had enough movement speed for me.
Oh my God, it hit like a truck.
I loved it as
so
an
good
AR,
at it.
yeah. W answers.
I don't know why, but since the beginning, I think those two have been, I can't use them anymore. But
Well, Swiss got
They're both
nerfed.
ass now.
they were so.
You gotta
they were
improvise, adapt, overcome.
So,
until like a week ago when Anthony told me I can't use them anymore.
right, they nerfed him to the ground. Do you think they're trying to make it like Apex, Tony? Like the zero recoil guns with recoil do less damage? Like, are they just really tightening the skill gap or what?
I think I actually talked to the dev dude a little bit about it, and it's two things. Switching to 300 health made it so there's more skill gap, which means that you have to be more specifically perfect on your weapons or you're going to lose.
To every other
like
gun,
before, the lower the health, the less it matters what gun you use.
And
so when we were at
attachments, too.
250 health, it was easier to pick other things. What?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, your arms are huge. Keep it up.
The other thing is 10 attachments is just a shit show. Like there's no trade-offs in attachments because you can put an attachment on every slot. Like that was what was so good about the 5 attachment system, is that you had to pick something over something else in order to pick it.
Right.
And in this, it's just like you can just stack every attachment for exactly how you want the gun to work.
And the gun
for
doesn't
them to
even
balance
move.
That
Yeah.
is a nightmare.
It was I don't know. I don't really know why they did it. I'm sure you do, but I thought the 5 attachment thing, again, I don't even know the game as well as you guys do by any means, but
I just play
having to pick what matters to you.
You just have 60 days playtime and work on the biggest
I know, but
weapon stats website there is, and
She's a newbie.
pick what is more important to me as a player made it so much different. And now it, as you said, you just pick them all. You just like, you don't have to trade anything. There's nothing give or take. Before you actually had to like truly min max, because I either had a drop. I remember the Grau meta screwed with me because I need an optic. I can't use not an optic, but on the Grau I had to not use an optic to get the gun to feel right to me.
Yep.
So I had to
not use an optic. It's stupid that optics don't take a slot or don't take one of your attachments away now, because there's no trade-off. Before it was like, can I make this gun work with iron sights
or not?
Or do I have to have an optic on it, and that takes away one of my other attachments? And there's those trade-offs just don't exist anymore, and it's really annoying. So I'm glad we're going back to that for Modern Warfare 2.
Savage Ray made up a good point. He's like, why can I use a 3 to 6 times on any gun and have the 6 times have no recoil? Like, I feel like the 6 times should have at least double or even triple the recoil visually as the 3 times. Because, like, you can literally see their forehead and it doesn't move. Like, even though they're 100 plus meters away, it's crazy. I just don't understand why that's still a thing in the game. I don't know why that little recoil exists, but
it's crazy. And if you go back and you use the low recoil guns from the past, they had way more visual recoil. So they had similar amounts of, like, you know, if you shot it on the wall, like it have similar amounts of magnitude of recoil, but the amount the screen was shaking and stuff. And
your Grau would move back and forth. Yeah.
It's totally different, and they're just too easy to use.
For me, it just feels like they're moving too much towards Apex. Like they're lowering the amount of players, lowering the amount of teams. The map's feeling more congested almost. I like the idea of gulag tokens. I like the idea of redeploy tokens, restock crates. All of that's really cool. But it just feels like the goal is to have like these really short games with 0 recoil guns and everybody wins, and like that's it. Like that I don't know. There's just not enough flair to it anymore, I guess. And I don't know. It just makes me very, very confused. Trying to think of anything else I want to like touch on. Because I feel like now we're talking about, I don't want to bring back guns and games, and that's work. You know what I mean? I'll conclude here. I'll be good.
Whatever, honestly.
I know, but I feel like that's not the point of the interview. You know what I mean? Like, I shifting about your guys' experience is important, but like, I don't want to talk work the whole time. You know? But no, I'm good to tap here. Are you guys working today? Are you guys playing today? What's your plans?
We're
Work.
working.
It's a work day.
Why she's here?
The next couple months are going to be super exciting. We got a lot.
I wanted to show him the
The
design, the desktop
You can?
design. You can do it.
You want to do?
It's in your DMs or in your.
I think you can share your screen too, right?
Share it all. Because it's like in the middle.
You're in the right one already. I just couldn't find it.
Which one do you want?
The one that he just asked me about, like a couple days ago. You're way too.
This
No.
Ooh, what golf shoes do you wear, Tony?
I
This one.
have stupid wide duck feet, so I have to wear FootJoy because they're the only company that makes golf shoes that are wide enough for me.
Said FootJoy?
FootJoy, yeah.
FootJoy, okay. I got you,
It's open
James.
Original. And you can save it.
This is the right one.
Yeah, save it and send it to him. This is top secret. If there's anyone from Sim in chat, go away.
14 triple E or 11 triple E?
I am 11 like 5E or 6E, but they don't even make those. So
Oh my
it's more
God.
like I have to wear 4E.
What do you call it? They take time to put like ranked rewards for some type of Iron Trials competitive mode. Even if they probably never will. It's nice to think about. Jams brought it to my attention. I was like, who had to design the ball sack on them? It's just, my man's got a cup on a cup in there. Like, Jesus. But yeah, that's it for me here. I have to go pee, so I'll be nice and conclude here. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this. I know Tony was surprised, but I appreciate it a lot. It's really cool to have the whole interview. I'll reach out for a thumbnail because I'm still trying to test thumbnail, so I'll send it to both of you guys for the video. Please give me good criticism. Okay, that works. Well, because I'm just not good at them. So like, you guys are the YouTube legends, so I'm bad at it. So I appreciate it again. Thank you so much for the interview. I love you guys. Stay safe out there, and I will catch you guys next time.
Bye, Dylan.
Bye. Pew. All right, guys, thank you so much for this today. I really do appreciate it. I'm gonna do a quick BRB stream. I have to reset all of the fun stuff. So I will be right back. Give me just a second here. I'm gonna get some more water. I'm gonna go pee.